The Appalachian Mountains hold many secrets, secrets that have been whispered through the ages. Ancient, sprawling, full of dark forests and forgotten hollows, these mountains are a realm of mystery and legend. Locals whisper of strange occurrences, tales passed down from generation to generation, unexplained lights in the woods, flickering like ghostly lanterns in the night. Disembodied voices on the wind, carrying messages from the past, or perhaps from another realm. Places where the veil between our world and the next is thin, where the supernatural feels almost tangible. We came to one such place, a town swallowed by the forest long ago, Ravenbrook, a place steeped in mystery and sorrow. They say it was once a prosperous mining town, bustling with life and activity. Then tragedy struck. A cave-in, some say, that buried the town's hopes and dreams. Others whisper of a darker evil, a malevolent force that cursed the town. Now, only crumbling foundations and empty streets remain, a ghostly reminder of what once was. We were drawn here by the stories, by the hope of glimpsing the other side, to uncover the truth behind the legends. We were prepared for anything, or so we thought. But the mountains had their own plans, and we were about to discover just how deep their secrets ran. The drive was long and winding, the road snaking through a dense, misty forest. The fog was so thick that it felt like we were driving through a dream or perhaps a nightmare. The trees loomed over us, their branches like skeletal fingers reaching out to touch the car. Twilight was falling as we finally reached the outskirts of Ravenbrook. The sky was painted in hues of purple and orange, casting an eerie glow over the landscape. The town seemed to be holding its breath, waiting for something to happen. A rusted sign, barely clinging to its post, greeted us. It swayed slightly in the breeze, as if it might give up and fall at any moment. The letters were faded, almost illegible, but we could just make out the name, Ravenbrook. The name Ravenbrook barely visible beneath years of decay. Moss and rust had claimed the sign, nature slowly erasing the town's identity. It was a haunting reminder of the passage of time and the inevitability of decay. We were alone. The silence was unsettling, broken only by the rustling of leaves and the distant hooting of an owl. The forest seemed to be alive, watching us, waiting. Every sound was amplified. Every shadow seemed to move. We set up our equipment in what was once the town square. The buildings around us were crumbling, windows shattered, doors hanging off their hinges. It was hard to imagine this place had once been full of life. Cameras, EMF detectors, and audio recorders, ready to capture any sign of the paranormal. We had come prepared, but nothing could prepare us for the feeling of being watched, the sense that we were not alone. As darkness enveloped the forest, the temperature dropped and a palpable sense of dread settled over us. The air was thick with anticipation, every breath a struggle. The night was alive with unseen eyes and unheard whispers. We had entered a place where the living dared not tread. The path ahead was shrouded in darkness, leading into the heart of the haunted woods. It was a place of legends and nightmares, where the boundary between the living and the dead was thin. The first few hours were uneventful. The moon, a sliver in the night sky, cast long, eerie shadows through the trees. The silence remained unbroken, except for the occasional chirping of crickets. I felt a presence, though, watching us. An unseen observer lurking in the darkness. Sarah, ever the skeptic, tried to rationalize the strange feeling in the air, but even she couldn't shake the sense of unease that had gripped us. Then the whispers began, faint at first, carried on the wind. We strained to make out the words, indistinguishable murmurs from the other side. As midnight approached, the whispers grew louder, more insistent. A cold wind swept through the town square, whipping our hair and clothes, chilling us to the bone. The equipment started to malfunction. Static filled the audio recorders. The EMF detectors spiked erratically. Suddenly the whispers transformed into blood-curdling screams. The air grew heavy, thick with the smell of damp earth and decay. We were surrounded by unseen entities, their rage and anguish palpable. Fear propelled us into action. It was time to leave. We scrambled to gather our equipment, our hands shaking with terror. Every second felt like an eternity as we fumbled with our gear, the weight of fear pressing down on us. The air was thick with tension, and our breaths came in short, panicked gasps. As we ran towards our car, the screams followed us, growing louder and more desperate. The forest seemed to close in around us, the trees becoming menacing silhouettes against the dark sky. Our footsteps were frantic, each step a desperate bid for survival. The ground seemed to shake beneath our feet as if the very earth was conspiring against us. It was hard to keep our balance, and every stumble felt like it could be our last. The forest floor was uneven, littered with roots and rocks that threatened to trip us up. Shadows danced at the edge of our vision, twisted figures that vanished when we turned to face them. It was as if the darkness itself was alive, playing tricks on our minds. We couldn't tell what was real and what was a figment of our imagination. The car was just ahead, a beacon of hope in the oppressive darkness. It seemed so close, yet every step felt like a mile. Our legs burned with the effort, but we couldn't afford to slow down. I fumbled for the keys, my heart pounding in my chest. My hands were slick with sweat, making it difficult to get a grip. The keys felt like they were slipping through my fingers, and I could hear the others urging me to hurry. We could hear the unseen entities closing in, their screams echoing through the trees. The sound was chilling, a reminder that we were not alone. Every rustle of leaves, every snap of a twig sent a jolt of fear through us. Finally, I found the keys and unlocked the car. The click of the lock was a small victory, but we knew we weren't safe yet. We had to get inside and get the engine started before it was too late. We piled in, slammed the door shut, and I turned the key in the ignition. The engine roared to life, and for a moment we allowed ourselves to hope. But we knew we had to get out of there fast before the darkness could claim us. The engine roared to life, and I threw the car into reverse, tires spitting gravel as we sped away from Ravenbrook. As we raced down the dark mountain road, I glanced back at the town in my rearview mirror. Through the trees, I could have sworn I saw them. Pale faces with hollow eyes, their mouths twisted into silent screams. They watched us go, their forms fading as quickly as they had appeared. We didn't slow down until we were miles away from Ravenbrook. Even then, the feeling of dread lingered, a chilling reminder of the horrors we had witnessed. Back in the safety of our studio, we reviewed the footage and audio recordings. The images were blurry, distorted, but undeniably real. Faces in the darkness, fleeting glimpses of figures that should not exist. The audio was even more disturbing. The whispers, the screams, and beneath it all, a low, guttural chanting that sent shivers down our spines. We had captured undeniable evidence of the paranormal, proof that Ravenbrook was a place of unspeakable evil. We left Ravenbrook behind, but Ravenbrook has never left us. The memories of that night, the terror, the chilling certainty that we had brushed against something truly evil, continue to haunt our waking hours. And sometimes, in the dead of night, when the wind whispers through the trees, we hear them again. The lost souls of Ravenbrook, forever trapped in their spectral prison, crying out from beyond the grave. Their voices are a chilling reminder that some places are best left undisturbed, some secrets better left buried. What do you think lurks in the shadows of Ravenbrook? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more chilling investigations from In Search Of.